If you're anything like me, Saturday nights in the late 80s meant one thing. You were home. The Golden Girls was on. And for 30 minutes, 4 women in Miami made the whole world feel a little less lonely. Maybe you watched with your mom. Maybe your grandmother. Maybe you watched alone and they became yours anyway. It's been over 40 years. Every single one of them is gone now. But their story didn't end there. Not even close. Because what these 4 women built together changed the way television saw women over 50. And the lives they lived after the cameras stopped deserve to be remembered just as much. I'd love to know who you watched the Golden Girls with. A parent? A grandparent? Maybe just yourself on a Friday rerun. Those memories are the reason this channel exists. Share yours while we walk through theirs. And we start with the woman who made confidence feel like a birthright. That drawl. You heard it before you even saw her face. Rue McClanahan walked into a room the way Blanche Devereaux walked into every scene. Like the whole world had been waiting. And for a lot of women watching at home, she unlocked something. Permission. To be bold past 40. To want things and say so. Blanche wasn't a joke about aging. She was a dare. Rue was 51 when the show premiered. What most fans never knew is that she was originally cast as Rose, the innocent one. Betty White was supposed to be Blanche. A last-minute swap changed everything, and it gave us the Blanche that only Rue could have played. Off-screen, she loved animals fiercely and wrote a memoir with a title only she could pull off. My First 5 Husbands and the Ones Who Got Away. She even joined the Broadway cast of Wicked in 2005, playing Madame Morrible. Rue left us in 2010. She was 76. But here's something that still makes fans smile. She kept every single outfit from all 7 seasons of The Golden Girls. And she proudly wore many of them as her own clothes for years after the show ended. That's not wardrobe. That's Blanche, living on. Here's something most people never caught. The oldest character on The Golden Girls was played by the second youngest actress in the room. Estelle Getty was born in 1923. Bea Arthur, who played her daughter, was born a year earlier. Every single episode, Estelle sat in a makeup chair for hours to become Sophia Petrillo. And every single episode, she made you forget it completely. Picture it. Sicily, 1922. That line became one of the most repeated phrases in sitcom history. Sophia didn't ask for permission to speak. She just spoke. For viewers who grew up with grandmothers like that, it felt like home. For those who didn't, it felt like the one they wished they'd had. Estelle spent 40 years as an unknown. Theater stages, small rooms, empty auditions. She was 62 when The Golden Girls changed her life. 7 Emmy nominations followed. She won in 1988. She also appeared in Mask alongside Cher, and later played Grandma Estelle in Stuart Little. She left us in 2008 at 84, just 3 days before her 85th birthday. She's buried at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Her headstone reads, "With love and laughter." 6 words. That's all it took. Because people remember. But if Sophia said what everyone was thinking, the next woman we're remembering actually did something about it. Something most fans never expected. If these faces are bringing something back for you, I'm right there with you. There's more ahead, and this next part stays with me. If this channel feels like a good place to sit for a while, I'm glad you're here. Nobody delivered a look like Bea Arthur. One raised eyebrow could end an argument. One pause could fill an entire room. Dorothy Zbornak didn't raise her voice to be heard. She didn't need to. And for viewers who spent their lives being talked over, she was everything. Dorothy was the one who held the house together. She called out nonsense. She protected her mother. She loved her friends even when they drove her crazy. She wasn't soft, but she was safe. And that combination is rarer than people realize. Bea was 63 when the show premiered. Before Miami, she'd already won a Tony for Mame in 1966 and carried her own series, Maude, for 6 seasons. 2 Emmy Awards, 9 nominations, a voice so distinctive you could recognize it from another room. After the Golden Girls ended, she took her wit to Broadway one more time with a one-woman show, Just Between Friends, in 2002. She made guest appearances on Curb Your Enthusiasm and Malcolm in the Middle. But her most lasting act had nothing to do with a stage. When Bea passed away in 2009 at 86, the world learned she had left $300,000 to the Ali Forney Center, an organization providing shelter for homeless youth in New York City. That gift kept the center from closing its doors. Today, the Bea Arthur residence stands in the East Village. 18 beds, young people finding safety, because a woman who played the toughest mother on television turned out to be exactly that in real life. Broadway dimmed its marquees for her. New York City declared a day in her name. But it's that building on East 13th Street that tells you who she really was. 3 of them left us within 3 years of each other. Estelle in 2008, Bea in 2009, Rue in 2010. But one kept going. One kept making us laugh for another decade. And saying goodbye to her felt like losing the last light in a room we never wanted to leave. Everyone loved Rose Nylund, but what Betty White gave us was bigger than a character. She gave us the idea that sweetness could survive anything, that you could walk through decades of loss, stand in front of a camera at 88, and still find a reason to laugh. Rose wasn't naive. She was hopeful. And Betty lived that way too. She was 63 when the show started, already a television pioneer. She'd been on screen since the early days of live TV in the 1940s. She produced her own sitcom in the 50s. She became the first woman to win a daytime Emmy for hosting a game show. By the time the Golden Girls came along, Betty White had already done what most people spend a whole career trying to do. And then she did it all over again. After the show ended, she never slowed down. Hot in Cleveland ran for 6 seasons. In 2010, she hosted Saturday Night Live at 88 years old, becoming the oldest host in the show's history. That happened because her fans started a Facebook campaign to make it real. She won an Emmy for it. A Snickers commercial during the Super Bowl turned her into a cultural reset. At an age when most people step back, Betty White stepped forward. Every single time. She left us on New Year's Eve, 2021. She was 99, 17 days short of her 100th birthday. The world didn't just mourn an actress. It mourned the last Golden Girl, the one who'd been there the longest, the one who made it feel like the show had never really ended. And then something happened that she would have loved. Every January 17th, on what would have been her birthday, people all over the world donate to animal shelters in her name. They call it the Betty White Challenge. It started the year she died. It's still going. 5 years now. Millions of dollars raised for the animals she spent her whole life protecting. That's not a memorial. That's Betty White, still making the world a little kinder, even now. But we can't close this story without sitting at that table one more time. Estelle left us first in 2008, then Bea the following spring, Rue just a year later, and Betty on the last night of 2021. 4 women, 4 goodbyes spread across 13 years. Each one took a piece of that kitchen with them. But here's what they left behind. A show that's been streamed over 1 billion hours. A 40th anniversary special that reminded a new generation why these women mattered. And 4 empty chairs at a table that still feels full. They didn't just make us laugh, they made us feel less alone at the exact moment we needed it most. That's not television, that's family. Every rerun is a small hello. Some shows entertain you. Some shows stay with you. The Golden Girls did both. It walked into our lives dressed in pastels and carrying cheesecake, and it never really left. Somewhere right now, Sophia is saying, "Picture it." Dorothy is giving that look. Rose is mid-story. And Blanche just walked in like she owns the room. All 4 still there. So let me ask you this. When you think of the Golden Girls, who were you sitting with? What room were you in? I'd love to hear that memory. It matters more than you think. There are more stories like this one, more faces, more living rooms, more nights that shaped who we became. Until next time, take care of those memories. They're yours to keep.